Welcome to my channel. In this video, you will see a terrifying true story. Let's start with the story. In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains lies a dense forest known as Whispering Woods. Legend has it that the forest is cursed, haunted by the spirits of those who have perished within its shadows. Skeptics dismiss the tales as mere superstition, but those who have ventured into the woods know better. As dusk settled over the horizon, a group of adventurous teenagers gathered around a crackling campfire at the edge of Whispering Woods. Among them was Sarah, an intrepid soul fascinated by the occult, and her friends Mark, Emily, and Jake. "Come on, Sarah. Tell us a scary story," Mark urged, his eyes gleaming with excitement. Sarah grinned mischievously, knowing just the tale to send shivers down their spines. Legend has it that deep within these woods, there's an old cabin where a hermit once lived. They say he dabbled in dark magic, summoning forces beyond his control. People who've gone looking for the cabin never return. Emily shivered, clutching her jacket tighter around her. "That's just a story, right?" Sarah shrugged. "Who's to say? But if you're brave enough, we could go see for ourselves." The group exchanged hesitant glances, but curiosity got the better of them, and they agreed to explore the woods the next day. The following morning, armed with flashlights and backpacks, the group set out into Whispering Woods. The dense foliage blocked out the sunlight, casting eerie shadows that seemed to dance with malevolent intent. As they ventured deeper, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive, and the once lively chatter dwindled to nervous whispers. Sarah led the way, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Hours passed, and just as the sun began to dip below the trees, they stumbled upon an overgrown path leading to a decrepit cabin hidden among the trees. "This must be it," Sarah whispered, her voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. The cabin loomed before them, its wooden walls warped with age, and the windows boarded up as if to keep out prying eyes. A sense of foreboding washed over the group, but they pressed on, driven by their insatiable curiosity. Pushing open the creaking door, they entered the cabin's dim interior. The air was thick with dust, and the faint smell of decay lingered in the air. "This place gives me the creeps," Emily muttered, her voice trembling. Ignoring her apprehension, Sarah ventured further into the cabin, her flashlight illuminating the cobweb-covered furniture and rotting floorboards. In the corner of the room, she spotted a weathered bookshelf, its shelves lined with ancient tomes bound in cracked leather. Curiosity getting the better of her, Sarah reached out and plucked a book from the shelf. Its pages were yellowed with age, and strange symbols adorned its cover. As she flipped through the pages, a sense of unease washed over her. The words were written in a language she couldn't understand, but their meaning seemed to seep into her mind like a whisper in the darkness. Suddenly, the floorboards creaked beneath their feet, and a chill wind swept through the cabin. Panic surged through the group as they realized they were not alone. Without warning, shadows began to dance along the walls, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes. Sarah's heart raced as she struggled to make sense of the surreal scene unfolding before her eyes. "We need to get out of here, now," Mark shouted, his voice tinged with fear. But before they could make their escape, a voice echoed through the cabin, cold and malevolent. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" The group froze, their blood running cold as they turned to face the source of the voice. Standing before them was a figure cloaked in darkness, its features obscured by shadow. "We meant no harm," Sarah stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. The figure stepped forward, its eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. "You have trespassed into my domain, and now you must pay the price." With a wave of its hand, the figure unleashed a wave of dark energy that sent the group sprawling to the ground. Terror consumed them as they realized they were at the mercy of forces beyond their comprehension. In a desperate bid for survival, Sarah reached into her backpack and retrieved a small vial containing a shimmering liquid. "This is our only chance," she whispered, her hands trembling as she uncorked the vial. With a prayer on her lips, Sarah flung the liquid towards the figure, its contents erupting into a blinding light that engulfed the cabin. When the light finally faded, the group found themselves standing outside the cabin, the forest around them eerily silent. The figure was nowhere to be seen, as if it had never been there at all. Breathless and shaken, the group made their way back to camp, their minds reeling from the ordeal they had just endured. As they huddled around the dying embers of their campfire, Sarah knew that they would never forget the horrors of Whispering Woods. And though they had escaped with their lives, she couldn't shake the feeling that something dark and ancient still lurked within the shadows, waiting to claim its next victim. This is our story today. If you liked the story, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. We will meet tomorrow, God willing, in a new story.